Hi, I'm Clifton Maxwell. I'm the farm manager here at Boggs Tract Community Farm. We are a 6-acre farm located in South Stockton that gives community members opportunities to grow their own food by renting 400 square foot plots of land. I got started here 3 years ago as a plot holder, and I've been volunteering and working as urban forestry coordinator, and now I work full-time here as farm manager. My background is in public health and permaculture design. I did a master's of public health epidemiology in Grenada and took my permaculture design with Caribbean permaculture consultants, and I've been practicing design for 4 years. I started working in people's backyards and then all the way to doing farm designs and designs for school gardens. When I moved to Stockton, I was lucky to find this farm here and have a chance to still connect with nature in the city. So I'm excited to go in and show you guys this beautiful gem here we have in Stockton and all the different things we do to boost the health and well-being of our community. So I'm standing here in front of one of our 20 by 20 foot plots that are available here to rent for community members. When I first moved to Stockton a couple years ago, I lived in a small apartment and had a little balcony that only received about 4 hours of sunlight. And there's a lot of people in that similar situation with not a lot of space to grow. So out here, this used to be an abandoned dumping ground, but 12 years ago when this farm started, the whole thing was excavated and new soil was brought in and tested to make sure it didn't contain any contaminants. And now it's a rich, lush place here. People come out and are able to rent these and transform their health by not having to purchase store-bought vegetables, which are either expensive for organic ones or filled with chemicals for cheap ones. And that saved money can maybe be used to buy higher quality staples, you know, rice, potatoes, or corn, and higher quality meats. And not only the health that people get right out of these plots, but there's 30, so you're coming out here and you're meeting all these other gardeners and getting to build this community. And it's a real community because people are sharing food and all work together to educate each other about the best organic growing practices and how to produce crops year-round and make the most of their space. All the families also participate in 4 hours of volunteer work around the farm as well to maintain the larger vegetable gardens, the fruit orchards, and take care of the animals, as well as do other odd jobs out around the farm. After they've taken care of their own plots, there's opportunities further to engage in entrepreneurship, cooperatives, and micro business to supplement income or even provide as a full-time job and be supported as a farm incubator. One of the coolest cooperative projects we have out here is the chicken co-op, which we're going to go over and have a look at next. Our egg-laying hens here at Boggs Tract Community Farm are one of the projects that plot holders work together to take care of. So this specific project is a cooperative business between 6 of us plot holders to take care of these 38 hens who are getting about 26 eggs a day right now. We all pitch in equally for the work, and we split the profits equally from the egg sales. These chickens also are a key element to this farm because they recycle all of the waste from our plots and row crop areas and turn it back into nutrient-rich compost for growing more vegetables and fruit trees. So they help us close the waste loop of our farm and recycle nutrients, sequester carbon, and support the small water cycle. We do turn the compost once a week, but the chickens do a great job scratching it up, aerating it, and also eating the bugs out of it and keeping the flies low, so we don't have to spend as much money on feed.
Outside food scraps to add fertility to the farm from a local juice bar, which gives ground up carrots, ginger, banana peels, spinach, kale.
Okay.
Good sources of extra nutrients for chickens.
That's fantastic, and so I can get some of that action in all these chickens while you're talking.
Sure. Okay, so a plot holder comes every morning to collect the eggs and let the birds out at sunrise so they can begin to go outside and scratch around and forage for insects and bugs and leaves. We have sunflowers, you see, and amaranth seeds that are dropping, so there's lots of different choices for the chickens to eat out here. We'll change their water, give them fresh organic grains, and also add hay under the roost, add straw under the roost so that it absorbs all the ammonia and nitrogen from the chicken manure. This is shoveled out probably 3 times a year and added to the compost pile and brings further nutrients back onto our farm in the form of chicken manure compost, which is very rich in phosphorus and very good for your plants. At night, someone else will come, and all the chickens put themselves to bed by going back into the coop, and the night shift person just has to lock up the door to make sure no predators get in.
Did you say you guys did make kind of a...
Hi, my name is Bethany, and I'm the office assistant for P.U.E.N.T.E.S. I went to school at San Jose State University, and I got my degree in environmental sciences with a focus on sustainable water management. So I found this job because I was looking for something that wasn't full-time, because actually at the end of my schooling I became a mom, and so I was thinking I'll never be able to really pursue my career. I'm always going to have these split motives. I always, I wanted to stay home with him, but I really wanted to do what I got my degree in. And so I actually found this job on Indeed.com, and at first I was thinking, I don't know about this. This seems like not my thing. But when I got into it, when I found out more about it, it's a perfect match for what I'm doing. I have the flexibility where I get to stay home with my son, because half of it is working at my computer, but then the other half I get to be on the farm, I get to be outside, and the most important thing to me is that I get to work with people. I get to connect the information to the people that need to hear it. And so that's something that I love about P.U.E.N.T.E.S. Part of what we do, a lot of what we do, is education. And so we even have a classroom garden on site here at the farm, where we have classrooms come during normal times to the farm, but right now we're doing a virtual classroom. We have a curriculum for K through 12 in the works, and we're having everything being virtually sent to them. But normally we have everything here, and I can show you around. So first of all, we have boxes here. Everything has its own irrigation system, and so we can do things specially for each crop that we have in there. Sometimes it's difficult when you have a bunch of different schedules for things. Something gets underwatered, something gets overwatered. But here we get to just test things out specifically and really teach kids the importance of sustainability and how they can do all of this at home. This is our classroom right here. We have a sink to clean everything on site, and it's just a great place for kids to actually get their hands dirty and see what this is all about. It's just so important for them to know where their food comes from and not just that it's in a store. Another way that we're bringing education outside of the classroom is with our victory gardens. So at the beginning of quarantine, we were given a chunk of money from the city of Stockton to go out and help people with their personal gardens at their homes. So we have everything that they need in this kit. We have the dirt, we have the bed, we have the plants, everything that they need to be successful. And it's already been such a great experience just being able to go into people's backyards and see what they're doing, what works, what doesn't work, and really be a resource to them if they need help. So whether the people are at their homes or they're here on the farm, they'll have access to healthy, fresh, nutritious food.
We're an integrated, diverse, small farm that contains many elements. And one of the important elements to a diverse small farm like this for healthy food production is to have pollinators. So our resident beekeeper, George, has his bees over in the corner here, which ensures all of our crops get good pollination. Plus we have local honey, which is one of nature's most healthy foods it has to offer.
Hi, I'm George Dale. I'm the beekeeper. So what I do is I provide the pollination for the farm here, and the farm's able to produce a lot of food and different stuff because of the bees. And if you want, we can head over and we can go take a look at some of the bees and have a little closer look at the things that I do here on the farm.
Let's do it. So, for the students watching, can you see the queen bee? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right.
Where is it?
When you're looking for the queen bee, one of the things you look for is that she's about 1/3 bigger than the other bees. Now, if you notice, there's one bigger bee on this frame.
Is that one it right there?
Good job. That's the queen. You know, she's just a little bit bigger around and longer. It's mostly in her length. If you look here on the frame, get close again, you'll notice we've got different kinds of textures here. See this right here? This is honey. And if you get down here, right here, see how this has a different texture? This is baby bees. I don't know if you can see down in some of those cells, you can see the little larvae down in the cell. The little white, looks like a little worm down in some of these open cells. So it starts out as an egg, and then a larva, and then a pupa, and then an adult bee. So there's actually 4 stages to life for a bee. There's our queen right here. She's checking out a hole, seeing if it's ready for her to lay an egg in it. That's a queen in the worker bees. So
how can people with their own personal home gardens benefit from keeping their own bees?
you'll get more fruit, and you'll get bigger fruit and tastier fruit. It'll taste better, and it'll be a lot, you'll have a lot more of it, so much so that you won't know what to do. If you compared it to when you had no bees to when you had bees, it's crazy. You'll get about 2/3 or more production than you did before bees were there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. When you're ready.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Bryant, and I am the owner of Corn Poppy Produce. I started out with P.U.E.N.T.E.S as a volunteer about 10 years ago. My son's 15 now. We came out here when he was about 5, 6. I grew up on a cattle ranch, and I really wanted to get back to my roots. I was a personal trainer for a really long time, working in warehouse and working with people. I was the CSA manager for about a year, and with P.U.E.N.T.E.S, things change all the time. So my position changed to healthy retail coordinator. So then I put all the produce on the internet. Then we went from that to urban forestry coordinator. So I was a part of planting all the trees throughout San Joaquin County at the underserved communities. And then I just really wanted to get back to growing for my community. I think of my community as my family, my people, and I want to do my part to give health and wellness to my family. So I like to grow herbs with purpose. All of these things over here are planted so that I can create tea blends to help with our bodies, all of our different ailments. If you turned around and we looked over here, you would see all my crops, my row crops. So I have I've got kale. I've got 2 different variety of kale, 2 different variety of cauliflower, 2 different variety of broccoli. I have 3 different varieties of onions, Walla Wallas, yellow, sweet red burger, and then an Italian Toledo red onion. I've got bok choy, mustard greens, celery, carrots. I have a vine growing over here, which is our passion flower. I don't really like to let the fruit produce because I like to harvest all of our flowers because the flowers help with insomnia. So I make a tea out of that. We've got my specialty item this year is Chinese cauliflower. My understanding is it grows a lot like a broccolini. So it'll be a big bush and it'll be a cut and come again. So there'll be many, many different stems of cauliflower. So I'm really looking forward to that. As a farmer, everything is ever changing. We grow with the seasons. It is the luck of the draw sometimes. You plant things and then they don't produce, or they don't produce as well as you would have liked. And that's just the nature of the industry. So you learn a lot about going with the flow. Why do I grow? How do I sell my product? Well, I do random pop-up farmers markets. That's kind of what I'm known for. So I'll go to a business and I'll set up a table and I'll just sell all my produce, and I'll be the only farmer at my own personal farmers market. I also wanted to come up with an idea that because of the COVID hit, I had to go back to the drawing board. So I made a bounty box. And what it is people prepay, pre-order, they show up to a designated destination, they pop their trunk, I put the box in their car and they go. And it's been wonderful. I think I will continue to do that, but I'm going to incorporate a little bit more in that, and not just produce and fruits of what's available. I'm also going to incorporate my herbs and make little bags of teas, because I believe in what it brings, the beneficial properties, and I think a lot of people do as well in our community, and I look forward to educating the rest of our community that don't know enough about it, because that's how I was too at one point. I didn't know enough, and I just wanted to learn. So whatever I have to offer, I want to give to you. I want to give to anyone who will listen, and if you have something that you can educate me on, I welcome that as well, because it's all about meeting as many people as we can and seeing as many places as we can in this one little lifetime that we have here. So thank you very much. I can't think of anything else.
That's fantastic. Okay, good morning. What's your name?
I'm Allison.
Where are we today?
Well, we're here at Boggs Tract Community Farm Saturday morning market. We have this market every single Saturday. We've actually just celebrated having every single Saturday for over a year. So every Saturday morning from 9 to 1, we put out all our produce, and this is all extraordinary organic produce that we grow here at Boggs Tract Community Farm. I'm one of the apprentice farmers. There's 3 of us who actually work here, and what we do is grow a lot of this food. And the joy, especially this year regarding the pandemic, is that we've been able to grow and provide food to people who can't afford it, who just are having trouble. So we've probably donated 400 to 500 pounds a week of food to folks who need it this year, and what a great feeling that is. Look at this, all this beautiful food.
What am I looking at here today?
Well, here we have cherry tomatoes, we have hibiscus,
what's hibiscus?
I never say it right. How do you say it?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. It's Jamaica. And
let's get a close-up of that.
Hibiscus is a beautiful plant, a gorgeous flower, and this is used for tea. And these are flowers that we have picked and dried, and will become tea. They're lovely.
Cool. I'm seeing some cherry tomatoes
Oh
here.
my goodness, yes.
That's
Lots
fantastic.
of cherry tomatoes. These are my personal favorite.
What are some of these other things that I'm looking at?
We have such a variety of peppers. If there's one thing that loves to grow here, it's peppers. So we have such a variety of them. Look at the colors of them, and in my opinion, the more color that there is in food, the better it tastes and the better it is for us. This is food with energy and life in it and taste. These are a little sweeter than a regular bell pepper would be. These are cubanelles. These are poblanos. These are red pepper. They're kind of spicy. And these guys, we love these. We call these our Jamaican peppers because look at the colors of them. But these are just a beautiful little nice spicy kind of smoky pepper. Folks just love them. They grow like crazy. And then of course we have, the serranos and the hotter peppers, and they're all just incredible. And I have to say, one of the things about working here that I just love so much is that we all just graze all day. It's all organic. We don't use any sprays. We don't even use any organic sprays, nothing at all. And so to just wander here and work and grow food and be able to just graze all day, I highly recommend it. And here we have some herbs. This is some variegated rosemary. I've got some cooking sage that we grow. This smells so good. And of course we have lots of cilantro.
But the variegated
Yep.
rosemary.
Yep.
What do you do with that?
You can use it as a cooking spice. It has a kind of a delicate flavor. It's really good like on chicken and some lighter dishes. It also, you can add it to tea, and put it in your tea.
Excellent. And speaking of tea, I usually like to put honey in my tea, and I see that you have some honey over there.
Oh, do we have honey? But what we have is a very wide variety of honey here. We have wildflower honey, alfalfa, sweet clover, orange blossom. So that doesn't all happen right here. The beekeeper will take the hives to various places, various farmers. For example, the alfalfa or the wildflowers. And then in exchange for pollinating all of their lovely plants and the flowers and keeping everything propagated, the bees give us this incredible honey. And they're all different flavors. Each type is a different flavor. Some are stronger, some are lighter. And one good way to try out honeys is just to get a small container of our little, our little honey bears, and try them out. Try out the different flavors and see which ones you like. And again, honey is really good. It's good for the soul. It's good for the food. It also makes a really good antiseptic. If you get cuts and so forth, I cut myself all the time out here, and so I'll put some honey on. I'm not recommending this, but it's what I do. It's known to have antiseptic properties and very good, very healing. And it's a natural form of sugar. It's not like where you're scooping, processed white sugar on your cereal or in your tea or your coffee. It's naturally occurring sugar that your body can just digest and handle so much better.
Yeah, and I've heard of other things that local honey is good for
allergies.
Allergies?
Yes, that's right. And boy, it was a tough allergy season this year. Earlier in the year with the wind and so forth, we had a lot of folks having trouble with allergies, so they would come and buy the local honey. And the wildflower and alfalfa are really good for allergy purposes.
I see that you have some customers now. Is there anything you want to tell the high school students from Stockton that will be watching this?
Well, I would just imagine that to an average teenager, especially these days, that the idea of a farm or working on a farm or growing stuff probably isn't all that exciting. But it's really a lot of fun, and depending on the types of things you're interested in. I mean, we have some young people out here, and what we find is that it's the growing, it's finding and learning about bugs, it's seeing if you have any kind of a scientific or a curious bent of mind about how things work, this is a type of place to do it. Farming and growing things is the place to do it, because the smaller things get and the little tiny seeds, and they grow into great big plants, and there's bugs and there's dirt and there's spiders, and the whole thing is all interconnected, and it's fascinating. Plus you get to play in the dirt.
That's always fun. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hi, I'm Kenda Templeton, Executive Director at P.U.E.N.T.E.S. I hope you enjoyed the tour of Boggs Tract Community Farm and all the things that we offer out here. We are out in the Port of Stockton, and we invite you to come out and look at what we've got going on. I think you've seen the bees and the pigs and the chickens. Our classroom has a lot going on. Right behind me is our tree nursery. So we propagate and sell trees that are available thanks to a CAL FIRE grant that we received a few years ago. We've got lots of activities that take place. Check out our website at puentesca.org, see what's coming up, and thanks so much for coming out and joining us at Boggs Tract Community Farm, and we hope that we see you very soon.